of committing genocide in Gaza while President Trump was working on peace. Why that?
I've spoken about the Israeli government committing genocide, and I've spoken about our government funding it. And I shared with the president in our meeting about the concern that many New Yorkers have of wanting their tax dollars to go towards the benefit of New Yorkers and their ability to afford basic dignity. And what we see right now is we're in the 9th consecutive year of more than 100,000 school children being homeless in our city. And there's a desperate need not only for the following of human rights, but also the following through on the promises we've made New Yorkers. And I appreciated the meeting we had and the work that we can do.
Do you agree that President Trump did do a peace and work hard to make the peace? Because he worked hard to do the peace in the Middle East and everywhere. Do you agree with that?
I appreciate all efforts towards peace, and I shared with President Trump that when I spoke to Trump voters on Hillside Avenue, including one of whom was a pharmacist that spoke about how President Trump's father actually went to that pharmacy not too far from Jamaica Estates, that people were tired of seeing our tax dollars fund endless wars. And I also believe that we have to follow through on the international human rights, and I know that still today those are being violated, and that continues to be work that has to be done no matter where we're speaking of.
Mr. Thank you, Mr. President. Do you view the mayor-elect as the true leader of the Democrat Party? And do you think Leader Schumer's and Leader Jeffries, have to follow his lead?
Well, look,
OK, well, that is President Trump in the White House with the new New York City mayor. They've got on all right so far. I thought it was going to kick off, / was quite hoping it would kick off so it would give us something to talk about. But I am here this evening, joined as ever by my wonderful live studio audience. Hey, fantastic. Well, there's a lot to go at this evening, isn't there? Sir Keir Starmer took the phrase foreign trip a little bit too seriously.
Hello. How are you?
Don't worry, we'll be playing that a lot, all right? And illegal migrants apparently smashed up that Weathersfield airbase. You can see some footage of it there that we have come into possession of here at GBNews. Smashed windows, thousands of pounds worth of damage, but there's much, much more to this story as well. I'll reveal all at 10 p.m. But has this ever happened to you?
Russian, you forget if they've eaten, so it gives them a bit of stability.
Yeah, anyone ever just forgot to feed their own kids? No? Because this is now one of the things about this new Breakfast Club, isn't it? It's like, oh, sometimes just forget to feed your kids, don't you? Do you? I don't know. George pretty well fed. Anyway.
Fake news was a great term, except it's not strong enough. I'd like it to be stronger. The word fake is one thing, but this is beyond fake. This is corrupt.
Well, I was jumping about the BBC, but it emerged today the BBC has lost £1 billion. So, oh, well, never mind. And...
And may I take this opportunity to thank our outstanding British Transport Police for everything that they do to support staff and passengers.
Oh, bless her. Well, Rachel Reeves says that people need to stop mansplaining the economy to her. Stop. I don't know. Maybe they should. Not going that well, is it, really, at the moment? So there we are. And how would you feel being given one of these gifts from Care for Calais this Christmas? They are giving you these gifts. All proceeds go to, basically, asylum seekers. You can get a Migration is Not a Crime hoodie, everybody. If anyone fancies one, I know what you're all getting I know what you're getting your loved ones this Christmas. I know. Anyway, on my panel tonight, we have got journalist and broadcaster Linda Jubilee. We've got broadcasting royalty Christo Fufas. We have got Pink Lady and Vice Chair of Epping Forest Reform UK, Orla Minahan. And everybody's favourite trade unionist is Andy 12. Oh, come on. Oh, that's the worst one. Yeah, all right, OK. Get ready, Britain. Here we go. The world is laughing at Sir Keir Starmer. Next.
Patrick, thank you. The top stories. Well, Donald Trump is meeting with the incoming mayor of New York City, Zoran Mamdani. He congratulated Mamdani on his election win, saying that he really ran an incredible race against a lot of smart people. Mr. Trump added that the pair have discussed topics like housing and food, as well as the price of oil and the Middle East, adding they agree on much more than you might think.
I feel very confident that he can do a very good job. I think he is going to surprise some conservative people, actually. And some very liberal people, he won't surprise them because they already like him. We're working with Lebanon. We're working with everybody in the Middle East. That's another thing I think we have in common. We want to see peace in the Middle East. And we actually have now, for the first time, peace in the Middle East after 3,000 years. And now we're going to refine it. And I think you're going to see some very positive things happen.
Elsewhere, Sir Keir Starmer has told GB News he wants to be Prime Minister until 2034. Sir Keir's been rocked in recent weeks amid claims that Labour backbench MPs want to replace him with rivals such as Wes Streeting, Shabana Mahmood or Ed Miliband. Allies of the Prime Minister made clear he would fight any leadership challenge last week. Speaking to GB News' political editor Christopher Hope, Mr Starmer reiterated his pledge at the election to be Prime Minister for 10 years. Millions of households will see their gas and electricity bills go up this winter after Ofgem raised its energy price cap. The 0.2% increase takes effect on the 1st of January and means that bills will rise by around 28 pence a month for the average household paying by direct debit. The unexpected increase comes after experts said they expected prices to fall by 1%. Sir Keir Starmer is expected to approve China's controversial plans for a new mega embassy in central London. It comes amid speculation that the Prime Minister may visit Beijing early next year. Sir Keir Starmer insisted he would robustly protect the UK's national interests in response to the speculation. He said that no visit to China had yet been confirmed, while officials refused to comment on rumours about the planned embassy near the Tower of London. Meanwhile, Sir Keir Starmer, Volodymyr Zelensky and the French and German leaders agree to coordinate with partners and allies in the coming days, including at the Johannesburg G20 summit, on a plan to end the war, according to Number 10. The Prime Minister reiterated his position that Ukraine must determine its future following a call with European leaders. He added it's really important to be at the gathering, which Donald Trump won't be attending. There are fears that the US president's boycott of the summit will overshadow the meeting of world leaders. Meanwhile, Russia's President Vladimir Putin has backed the US plan for ending the Ukraine war, saying it can form the basis of a final peace settlement. And those are the latest GB News headlines for now. More from me in an hour.
You can now watch GB News live across the United States of America and the world on Truth Plus. Scan the QR code to find out more, or visit gbnews.com/truth.
Well, good evening, everybody. Thank you yet again to everyone who's made the journey to be here. So, Sir Keir Starmer is an international embarrassment. His nickname is Never Hear Keir. So he's taken 42 foreign trips in 17 months. In fact, there's a little map of it here, actually. It'll take ages to go through, so don't worry. We're just going to keep that playing there. He's been all over the world. But today, he took the phrase foreign trip a little bit too literally.
Hello. How are you?
Oops, there he goes. Now, apparently, Downing Street was ringing around journalists today, asking them to not publish that clip of him nearly stacking it. Oh, well, here it is again.
Hello. How are you?
Now, just in case you missed it, here it is again, but really slowed down. Oh, well, what a shame. Anyway, it's not the first time that he's been humiliated on the world stage. This was a classic.
Come here. Is everything going good?
Very good.
It's very nice that you're here. These people all came in like 20-minute notice.
Oh, still. It makes a change from being the president's bag carrier.
We all know the great Prime Minister of the UK, and we just signed a document. This is... Sorry about that.
A very important document.
A little windy out here. Give it...
Or what about the time that he went to a summit and every other leader was greeted by the host, Viktor Orban, apart from Starmer? It's the way he looks around for me, you know. It's like that, oh, where is it? Friends, anybody? Any friends? Or, of course, he went to Albania, didn't he? And in front of the Albanian leader, in front of the world's press, he said, hey, we're just going to have talks about return hubs for illegal migrants in Albania. Then the Albanian leader immediately slapped him down and said, no, actually, we're only doing it with Italy. But today's trip wasn't the first time that Sir Keir Starmer has stumbled.
Have you lost control of your MPs, Prime Minister?
There you go. Or even stumbled over his words when it comes to major international events.
I call again for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza, the return of the sausages, the hostages.
Has anyone checked on those sausages? I don't know. Can we come back there? Yeah. But he couldn't even get a basic photo op with the leader of South Korea, right? He thought he was actually his translator first, which was pretty embarrassing. Look, I think we all think he's a laughingstock, but it looks like the world is probably laughing at him now as well. Let's get the thoughts of my wonderful panel and my studio audience. Christo, is he an international laughingstock, do you think?
No, I think it's wrong to say he's an international laughingstock because he's a laughingstock here as well. So let's not discount him being a laughingstock here in the UK. He is fast becoming the Mr. Bean of politics, isn't he? Because that's why he's like bumbling, where am I going next? The only thing I'll say about that clip, and I don't know if I saw it properly, actually. Do you think...
I don't know, can we play it again, maybe? I'm not sure.
I didn't catch it properly, actually. I don't know. That's all right.
Don't worry, it'll come up at some point, yeah.
The only thing is, there was a flash of emotion from the Starmer bot, wasn't there? Because he is a robot. Normally, he's just like, so robotic. But because he, like, tripped and it was almost like the computer program failed. Look, you can see the moment it short circuits and, oh, it's gone. And then, immediately, it's back online. It's back on. Yeah, he's a laughingstock, but oh, there he goes again. Thank you for the reminder.
That's all right.
But on a serious note, we are a country in decline. It pains me to say that, but we are. Our economy is flatlined. We are no longer a place where people want to invest. We are no longer a place where people feel like there is any kind of hope. And so I'm not surprised he's joining the thousands and thousands of people that don't want to be here anymore. Most of them are emigrating. He's just choosing to no longer be in this country. And it's because he just does not want to face the problems, many of which he and his government have created.
OK. Yeah. OK. All right. Well, good stuff. We're going to go to the audience for the first time, if that's all right. Has anyone got a point to make on this? Someone? Yes, go on, sir. Do you want to stand up and say your piece? What would you like to say, mate?
It's not in regards to Keir Starmer being abroad. It's just a general question.
Yeah, go on,
So the Prime Minister has said that a woman is an adult human female.
Right.
Right? But he also finally admits that no woman has a penis. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I'd like to know is, will Labour now apologise to Rosie Duffield, Joanna Cherry, J.K. Rowling and many other women they smeared, suspended, smeared, suspended and...
Well, and humiliated. They pushed them aside,
humiliated, yeah.
Exactly.
Or are they still too scared of the trans lobby to say sorry?
Well, there you go. Well, I'll tell you what, it's a good question because it does relate, actually, because that, I think, does make him a bit of a laughingstock, doesn't it? That whole thing about, like, you know, can a woman have a penis? David Lammy thinking that women could grow cervix, all of that. What would you like to say about this in general, about being a laughingstock and also to that chap's question?
You see, the problem is, Christo has a really, really good point here. The economy is in deep, deep trouble. And that's because we do not have enough people working in order to transfer money into the exchequer. So at the moment, we're running on empty. We're a car that's running on empty. And you're right, he should apologise to these women because that's the correct thing to do. And he could move on really quickly if he did that. Because, frankly, we don't need to be dragged back by that kind of problem when we've got such serious things affecting us right now. We've got kids between 16 and 24 who aren't working. They're not on employment or training or whatever. We've got a much, much bigger and growing older population, which, as I said, means there are fewer and fewer people working, therefore bearing the burden of tax to pay for our services. Now, we should be concentrating on that. And frankly, my view is that Keir Starmer, who does perform quite well on the international stage, obviously, slip-ups,
Quite literally, in the case of today, actually, yeah.
But, you know, he should be at home. The budget's only days away. There's so much talk, so much speculation. Sunday papers are going to come out with a load of stuff soon. He should be here.
All right, so you're spending too much time abroad?
Where's Wally? That's what I call... Where is Wally?
Yeah.
It's, isn't it? You need to look at the map and see the little where's Wally and point him out. As far as the trans thing's concerned, much like you said, absolute waste of time and energy for us to waste our time on this nonsense. There are so many more things to worry about, really, really critical things. And, I mean... The list is endless. So it's just absolute nonsense. And the thing is, if you can't decide between X, Y, and whether they've got a womb, you say, thank God he's not a doctor. That's all I'd say. I mean, it could be very unfortunate. So
For the same biological fact they stated years earlier.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's just a point. It's a pointless topic. It's just ridiculous.
What does everyone feel a little bit like? You know, when you see Keir Starmer popping up on the world stage meeting these leaders, do you feel a bit of a sense of dread? Or do you feel happy he's there? I mean, what's the kind of general? Oh no, not again, said someone. Well, there you go. Look, if anyone else was desperate to make a point on this, get your hand up. There is a gentleman at the back, so we get the microphone to him. Go on then, Andy. What would you like to say about whether or not Keir Starmer is a bit of a national embarrassment abroad?
Ofcom, don't worry, I'm here. It's. I think, you know, there are lots of things touched on there. I think I do agree with my fellow panellists that on the culture war stuff, I think there are genuinely more important things. Wages are stagnating, energy and water companies are making record profits, unemployment is on the rise, you know, bills are higher than ever. There are more serious things that I want my Prime Minister to be talking about than whether a woman can have a penis or whether, you know, he or she or whatever can grow what was it?
Cervix.
Cervix, was it? David Lammy. I just think there are more important things for a Prime Minister to be doing than that.
You know, when he goes abroad though, and he does his little, whether it's a slip up or, you know, when he kind of sort of like awkwardly approaches Trump and then gets sent back, or he goes and gets it wrong with the Albanians, and is it not a bit like humiliating?
It's unfortunate. I think everyone trips up. Everyone trips up. I tripped up on the way here. When I was walking down that step, I tripped up.
Do you know what would be better, though, if he acknowledged that he tripped up? So, whoops, you know,
he was
laughed about it.
He was going to go and talk to some activists. I don't think he needs to offer a running commentary on him tripping over some stairs going to talk to some activists. I think it is bold, though, to talk about international embarrassment and all that. When you're, you know, a vice chair of Epping Reform, when your former Welsh leader has just been convicted for taking bribes from Russia. Is that a national embarrassment?
Not really, no.
You don't think it's embarrassing to take bribes from Russia?
It is,
when you're a member of the European Parliament? Do you not?
Yes. Is he a national embarrassment? No, he's not in the same position.
Is he an embarrassment to Nigel Farage, his close ally?
But that's for Nigel Farage.
To Reform UK?
Not to me, no.
Not to you? You're not embarrassed that the man who ran your party in Wales, got 10.5 years he's in prison for, took bribes from Russia? Are you not embarrassed by that?
Not really, no.
How could anyone trust anything that anyone from Reform UK is saying about international affairs when you took bribes from Russia?
Don't be ridiculous. You can't judge a whole party and a whole movement. Most people are hitting by one
Has Farage investigated those other members of the European Parliament at the same time?
I don't know. You'd have to ask him.
Well, you represent Reform UK. You're the vice chair of Epping Reform UK. It says right there on your tag. Has he? Has he?
Well, one more, and then we'll move on. I mean, you've made your point relatively clear. I think your point is what? That you can't...
My point is...
She's not embarrassed, is her?
No, but there's far more things to be embarrassed about than a man in Wales who's yeah.
Oh, he's been sentenced to...
For treason,
okay.
guys, for treason.
Well, we need to be very careful about that.
It's treason. Taking bribes from Russia is treason.
Well, I mean, yeah, but we don't judge a whole party by...
It's technically and
actually. If we did, we'd be in trouble.
Should we judge the whole of the Labour Party by
exactly.
the tax scandals, by the Lord Alley scandals, by the scandals, or do we accept...
I think Keir Starmer has condemned those, absolutely. Nigel Farage, he's been quite silent, hasn't he?
Let's go to the gentleman at the back first, if that's all right. What would you like to say, sir?
Yeah, just wondering what the panel think the Chinese, what hold they have over the toolmaker's son for him to be pushing through the Chinese embassy, the mega embassy.
Another thing that some would argue might make him a slight national embarrassment, sir.
Well, yeah, he is, basically.
Well, Boris Johnson originally approved it. He's just not taken away the approval.
Yeah, but the fact of the matter is that the threat from China, according to Sir Ken McCullum, the head of MI5, has grown substantially. Yeah. And the fact of the matter is that we have to deal with China. I lived there. I lived in Hong Kong for 5 years. I was a foreign correspondent there. And the fact of the matter is, I've watched China grow into this economic superpower. It's the second biggest economy now in the world. And we have to learn to deal with China. But we must understand they're a very big security threat right now. Sir Ken McCullum described it as a tsunami coming towards us. So, OK, you let them have a big embassy, But I am very suspicious about the location being so close to the city and to major data centres. And I think the location is wrong. And I think it's also wrong. Maybe they shouldn't be in the old Royal Mint, one of our legacy buildings.
Yeah.
And actually, one final point, I'd like to know why the basements are redacted.
Yes.
Plan on doing in there.
Well, quite, yes. But you'll be relieved to know that Sir Keir Starmer is actually going abroad again to China soon. He is.
Yeah.
It's not a joke. He is.
He is in January.
Which would strongly imply that he's already decided to approve their mega embassy, which is the size of a small fortress, and is definitely not going to have torture chambers in the basement. So let's hope he stays there. Well, there we are. Right, we're off to a lively start.
Don't do that to the Chinese. Come on. We don't that much, do we?
We wonder how long it'd be before the Chinese decide they've had enough.
They'll surrender.
There we go. All right, well, look, lively start. We've had a bit of a row. We've had some audience questions. I know there was some more we want to get to, but don't worry, the night is young, so thank you very much. But has anyone here entered the Great British Giveaway, the Christmas edition? Few people. Right, well, you all should, because it's 40 grand in cash, £1,000 more in your favourite supermarket, apparently, and a fantastically festive GB News goodie bag. This is the Christmas edition of the Great British Giveaway. Here's how to be in it to win it.
There's just 34 days until Christmas, and it's the final week to see how you can enjoy it on us. That's £30,000 in tax-free cash to make 2026 fantastic. A further £10,000 cash to spend on gifts for all the family, the tree and decorations. £1,000 in vouchers to buy a slap-up Christmas lunch at your favourite supermarket. And finally, a GB News Christmas goodie bag. Plus, we're going to get it all to you in time for the big day. For another chance to win, text WIN to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message. Or text BONUS to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB17 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 28th of November. The winner may be contacted live on GB News, week commencing the 8th of December. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
Well, still to come tonight, I've got a bit of an exclusive for you. I'm actually going to be showing you what's really going on inside RAF Weathersfield, that asylum centre there. We've had all sorts of stuff, and apparently now, large-scale criminal damage where they've been smashing up the site manager's office, but there is even more as well. And, of course, the Refugees Welcome Brigade don't want you to know about that. But, talking of them, if you are searching for the perfect Christmas present for your loved one, yes, why don't you get a pro-migration tote bag? Or you could even get a migration is not a crime hoodie for the loved one in your life. Or tell you what every child wants in their stocking this Christmas, it's a pro-migration mug. We're going to be talking about that when we come back.
Britain deserves a newsroom that puts the facts and your voice first.
Well, and that's what you get on GB News. Lively debates, lively conversation.
And we're not afraid to hold power to account.
And each other. So join me, Andrew Pierce.
And me, Miriam Gates, for Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 on GB News.
Hi, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and my show is your opportunity to cut through all the noise and dive in headfirst to some robust debates. Ideas clash.
Situation,
no,
isn't it?
No,
Because the failure is...
You're deliberately avoiding my point. Nothing's held back.
And if you think this is the end of it, wait for more.
And we do not shy away from the difficult stuff. Sometimes I want to shake people and say, if only you understood. So join me on Jubes & Co. weeknights at 6 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
He can say whatever he wants.
A straight talking show where all voices are heard.
And, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country.
There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor.
Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Daubney, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m, weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Westminster's full of talk, but out here, it's the real world.
Am I allowed to talk now?
No, that's it. This is where it matters, real people and real lives. That's what politics is all about.
In fact, has Trump made a good start? No.
Straight answers, no spin, and just a couple of pints.
How many fingers have I got up?
About 10. So join me for Lee Anderson's Real World every Friday at 7 p.m, only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
In the GB newsroom, we bring you the news as it happens.
With our team of dedicated journalists across the UK.
We're ready to keep you up to date with what's happening every half an hour, every single day. Bulletins here on GB News.
The People's Channel.
Britain's news channel.
Mornings don't have to be tiresome, especially if you have the right company.
Wake up to news as it happens, opinion and debate, and of course, a little bit of entertainment too.
Because when the kettle's on, we're on.
That's Breakfast on GB News, a show worth waking up for.
Every morning from 6 a.m.
Only on the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
We'll spread the news, you spread the word.
Join me, Nana Akwe, for an informative, interactive news programme with a difference. It's fun.
No, he didn't say that, Dave.
I'm so surprised.
I think there's an element of truth to that.
Join me from 3 p.m. every weekend, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Welcome back, everybody. So, if you need some inspiration for Christmas, I know we all do, a refugee charity called Care for Calais is selling merchandise. Well, it's a range that includes jumpers, hats, phone cases stamped with slogans like "Migration is not a crime" or "Santa loves refugees but hates racists," and Jesus was a refugee. Brilliant. They've got the full bingo card there, haven't they? Because nothing says festive Christmas cheer like "Happy Christmas, here's your migration hoodie." But they even go further. You can get gift packages for refugees. You can buy them winter coats, boots, scarves, gloves, hoodies, joggers, T-shirts, and even a brand new smartphone. Yes, so they will provide a smartphone to the refugees themselves. There's also the option to donate, of course, towards their support through the asylum system package or their integration package. And, well, if the Lego just isn't cutting it this year, you can even wrap up a "Immigration is not a crime" Paddington-themed hoodie for your child. But, of course, you need to remember, this is not about indoctrination, is it? It's definitely not about indoctrination. It's all that. Right, who would like to start on this? Go on, then, Orla. Would you like to make... What do you think about these Christmas... Will you be buying one for anyone?
Yes, I will be buying one, and I'll be wearing it tomorrow at my protest in Chelmsford, I think. Yes. Well, I know what to get you for Christmas, so that's good.
Go.
No, well, I was thinking to myself, every year my husband gets me the worst gift, so he probably... I wouldn't put it past him, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Look, if we put... what annoys me is the amount... you look at those jackets and the boots and all those... How many veterans on our streets would benefit from that this Christmas, right? And, I mean, that comes down to people like the Salvation Army and good people, Christian people, not just Christian people, all people in communities going out and looking out for our veterans. Nobody ever seems to put any kind of emphasis on them. That really, really annoys me. I think it's awful.
OK. All right. Now... Christys,
he's online buying.
Some digging.
I'm on the website, I'm perusing it. Actually, I think we're missing a trick here because, OK, some of the sort of like migration tote bags and stuff, and migration is not a crime. Well, actually, migration is a crime. I'm actually
some of it is.
Some of it is. I mean, actually, under the 1971 Immigration Act, Section 24, migration is a crime. Just saying. However, we're missing a trick here because. I want to be given one of the presents that the migrants get, because the complete package, for £120, right, I get a waterproof winter coat, sturdy boots, a hat, scarf, gloves, hoodie, jogging bottoms, T-shirt, socks, underwear and a smartphone.
Fabulous. And it's got Fortnum and Mason written on it. Oh, fabulous.
Wow.
And you can either give it to a refugee from yourself or have it delivered to someone. I'm going to deliver it to myself.
Where do you deliver it to?
I'm going to...
Weathersfield.
My home address.
Yeah.
So it's from me. Choose an option, £120. Special thank you message. Dear Christo, thank you, Christo. There we go.
There you go. Brilliant. Go on, Andy. Will you be investing in this winter?
I don't think I will, but as you said, pretty good value, in fairness. I mean, they're a charity. If people want to spend their money on that, you're all right-wing, you believe in the free market. People can buy and sell what they want.
Charity starts at home, my friend. Charity starts at home.
That's right.
What's that got to do with a charity selling clothes?
In Calais, for people in Calais.
Yeah, but what... what's that got to do with charity starts at home? A charity can raise money if it wants. People, if they want to, can give money to this charity.
All right. There's a lady. Sorry, I'll come to you, Linda. But there's a lady on the front row who'd like to make a point. Yeah.
Can I just ask, what is the money that's being raised by selling all this merchandise going to? What's it being used for?
It's going on the stuff. I think.
Well, yeah, of course.
Like supply. I think Cali are supply based, aren't they? Like you
it's
buy the
all
boots, so you
China.
buy the. You buy the like the Reform UK football T-shirts.
Yeah, I've got one. Yeah.
Have you?
Goes
So
to my
Nathan
eyes.
Gill, he'll get it taken off him now. He's in prison.
I mean, OK, so do we think that they should be... I suppose it's interesting, though, isn't it? Because, obviously, that means that people out there, you know, that kind of ready supply of weapons-grade lefties who are out there are perfectly happy to fund smartphones for illegal migrants. I suppose it's more of a comment about our society and some of the people in that society as opposed to the charity itself, isn't it, I think?
Yeah, I mean, I think Andy's got a point. You know, it's a free market. They sell these things. If people want to buy them, they buy them. The money presumably goes to the core costs of running that charity. End of. What I want to know is, what's Paddington Bear doing in there?
He was a migrant. He came here illegally. He came here illegally. Shabana would deport him. You know.
Yeah, he came from
That's a third world country, that is.
Rightly so, that marmalade-stealing little Peruvian.
Evil.
He should be out of here in a shop, you know. Seriously, what's he ever done, you know? But yeah, squatted in someone's house for years.
Yeah, exactly.
In there.
Not contributing.
Our late Queen would have turned in her grave.
And I don't think he wears anything under that coat.
No, he doesn't.
No.
He's got some lovely yellow boots.
That's another point.
Yeah, well, there we go. Well, look, so no, I thought we'd raise that to bring that to your attention. I mean, there are some question marks, not naming Kev Calais directly here at all, but there's various different other charity groups which I do think need a serious, long, hard look at, given the role that they play in the migrant crisis. But anyway, there we go. Right, coming up.
I love the holiday season.
Full of surprises.
Yeah, sorry, Meghan's back, everyone. Meghan's back. I know. Is anybody going to be watching her Christmas special?
No.
Sorry. Holiday season special. No one. OK, all right. What about her recipes? You going to be following her recipes? No. Oh, well, that's a shame. Anyway, we're going to be talking a little bit about Meghan's inglorious return when we come back.
I hope we haven't forgotten anything.
Travel insurance, I tick that box.
Yeah, but remember what you forgot last year.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News travel destinations forecast.
Heavy rain and strong winds likely in Italy and Croatia for the first part of the weekend. Meanwhile, it's fine and sunny for most of Spain and Portugal. Chance of some showers for Madeira and also across the Canaries. Sunny but not particularly warm across much of Spain and Portugal. Wet and windy weather, especially for southern Italy, Sicily and parts of Croatia and mainland Greece. Many of the Greek islands dry and fine on Saturday, but it will be cloudy here on Sunday. By the time we get into next week, it looks a little warmer for Rome and Dubrovnik.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News travel destinations forecast.
Hello again, good evening. Welcome to your latest GB News weather update brought to you from the Met Office. Another cold evening to come across southeastern areas, but elsewhere it will turn much milder. And the milder feel will be felt for all by tomorrow. That's because we've got a weather front moving in from the west that will introduce that milder air as well as some rain and cloud. And this evening that rain will push across parts of Northern Ireland, much of Scotland and into parts of North Wales, Northern England through the early hours of this evening. Staying dry ahead of that across many central and eastern areas. The cloud will start to thicken as well. So after a chilly start to the night, temperatures will rise by tomorrow morning. They'll actually be closer to 4 or 5 degrees. Clearer skies as well developing behind this weather band across Northern Ireland and much of western Scotland in particular. So here it will be a relatively fine start to the day. Still quite a few showers around though across the Shetland Isles, parts of the Western Isles and the Highlands, but most of these showers will be falling as rain, which will make a difference. And clear skies across much of Northern Ireland will bring a bright and sunny start to the weekend. Very different story though for England and Wales. There's a lot of cloud around along with this weather front. Some heavy bursts of rain, particularly across the mountains of Wales, parts of the Pennines as well. So we could see that mixed with snowmelt bringing a few localised impacts from the rainfall. But otherwise it's going to be a generally pretty dull and damp day for many central and eastern areas of England. Elsewhere though, it should brighten up as the day goes on, particularly across eastern areas of Scotland. Highs of around 7 or 8 degrees, and in the south and west we'll be reaching double digits for the first time in a little while. Looking ahead to Sunday, we've got a low pressure system taking centre stage. That will spread further spells of heavy rain through the country, particularly across eastern areas where it will linger into the start of the new week, turning a little bit brighter across the southwest, but it will be breezy. Now, as I said, next week it's looking relatively damp across eastern areas to start, but it should turn drier as well as colder. Bye-bye.
In the GB newsroom, we bring you the news as it happens.
With our team of dedicated journalists across the UK,
we're ready to keep you up to date with what's happening every half an hour, every single day. Bulletins here on GB News,
the People's Channel,
Britain's news channel.
Britain deserves a newsroom that puts the facts and your voice first.
Well, and that's what you get on GB News. Lively debates, lively conversation.
And we're not afraid to hold power to account.
And each other. So join me, Andrew Pierce.
And me, Miriam Gates, for Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 on GB News.
At GB News, we love to hear from you, our loyal community. So drop us a line at gbnews.com/yoursay. There you can talk to each other and also to the presenters live on air. gbnews.com/yoursay, because GB News is your channel, Britain's news channel.
Loving the live audience tonight. Thank you, everyone. So, is Meghan Markle on a mission to ruin Christmas? It certainly feels like it with her new Netflix special. Let's just play a bit of the trailer. I think we go. Here it is. Have we got a bit of the trailer?
I love the holiday season.
First off, holiday season, I mean, it is Christmas, really, isn't it? But what's it all about, Meghan? So, is it all about the birth of the baby Jesus?
Embracing traditions.
I like this.
There we go. And making new ones.
We are now in No, it's not about that, apparently. It's about bringing a procession of random people into someone else's kitchen, presumably hiding the kids somewhere else as well, because we never see him, do we? And then just talking about cooking really bang-average stuff. But is it all Michelin star stuff? No, I don't know. I think there's a bit of something she's made here.
Hey-o. It's so pretty. Just so easy and elegant.
Yeah, no, it's just a salad, isn't it? Well, it's not even a salad. It's not even a salad. It's a plate of, I think, raw broccoli, celery, everything else. I mean, yeah, there it is. You can see it. Look at that. Right, seriously. Look at that. If you went round to some... It's arranged in a circle, Andy.
You could put a bit of sauce.
Well, there's some tahini there, but I mean, come on, it's celery, cucumber, asparagus.
Well, no, it's meant to look like a reef. It's meant to look like a reef, Patrick.
Oh, come on.
Come on.
I mean, if you go to Stoke and try serving that. But I mean, Meghan's perfect image, of course, been recently shattered. Anyone read this article about her? Which it turns out that when Meghan Markle is even just in, again, it's never her own home, is it? Someone else's flat. She gets someone to introduce her to the room as the Duchess of Sussex. So there's a quote from a journalist here. When I enter the house, manager announces, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, even though we appear to be the only two people in the house. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Absolutely bonkers. So there's a lady who wants to make a point about Meghan Markle who's chuckling away at the moment. So there we go. You're going to have to compose yourself. Good. Go on. What would you like to say?
It's a bit like Alcoholics Anonymous, actually.
Well, I would know. I was there this afternoon. Didn't see you there, though. Yeah.
No. Yes, I agree with everybody about Markle, and we must call her Meghan Sussex, not Meghan Markle.
Absolutely.
Because, of course, she loves to share the same name as her husband. When the Netflix series first came out, I thought, well, I can't judge it without watching it. So I watched it. And I thought, it's only going to be 3 episodes. And I watched them. I sat through all of them, and it was OK, actually. I found I was quite enjoying it. I was crocheting a Maine Coon cat at the time.
Can I just ask, is this when you were drinking?
No. So anyway, yes, I was crocheting my Maine Coon cat and watching Meghan Markle, and because it didn't take too much attention, and it was quite entertaining.
Right.
The way she got people in, and she got them to sort of feed her.
So you like it then?
Well, yes.
This is what
the Alcoholics Anonymous thing.
This is right. That's why I get it now. You're coming out and you're admitting.
I'm admitting.
I get it.
What I would like to ask on a more serious note is why are we wasting any time on it? Why are we talking about it?
Right.
It's irrelevant. She's out there in California somewhere.
Thank you for that. We've got other things here, I think.
I think it is interesting, but I do think you've put your finger, it's nail on head, you've put your finger on the pulse here. Because the thing about Meghan that I've noticed is that she is always imitating someone else.
Yeah.
She's on the cover of Harper's and she's imitating the no makeup look of Pamela Anderson. She does the household thing, the domestic goddess thing. She's imitating Martha Stewart. And that's why she doesn't really hold your attention much. Because she is the mistress of mediocrity. She is just copying other people. And that's the problem. I don't have anything against her, really. I mean, I don't like her, don't dislike her. But I think that she's not original.
Can I ask you what a Maine Coon... What is it, a Maine Coon cat?
I like the way we're
You're
going
crocheting it?
A Maine Coon cat, yes. I'm crocheting a Maine Coon cat.
Oh, I see, as a gift.
Oh, so not the cat itself. No,
I was going to say...
I thought it was
injured.
Something with the cat, but you're not.
No, she's making one in crochet.
How could...
You could get a starring role.
How could you enjoy those episodes you watched? She had a children's party with no children. She didn't invite any children to the children's party.
I enjoyed it because it didn't take any effort to watch.
Well, yeah, but that, you know, that's like being sedated. That's like having an anaesthetic. That doesn't sound like
There's nothing wrong with that.
I love the holiday season, says Meghan. It's about finding time to connect with the people we love, which clearly doesn't include your husband's family, who you accused of racism, and your own seriously ill father, who you've cut out from your life. So those are the people that you love, Meghan, that you ignore. But credit where it's due. I did watch some of this, and I saw one of the recipes, and it's quite complicated, but I'm gonna make it for you now.
Oh, OK.
So,
Well, see what happens.
what you do, you might be having some friends round, right, for a bit of a Christmas get-together, and you might be think, what am I going to serve them, and how am I going to make it from scratch? Well, what you do is you take out a mince pie from the packet, and then...
Oh.
With love, Krista.
With love. It's just like, I know it was complicated, so you won't need a pen and paper. We'll put the recipe on the website afterwards.
But no Christmas, Christmas.
No.
You're not allowed to write that anyway. No.
You've got to make sure you make it in someone else's kitchen as well. That's vital. That's vital.
No, Mark's is.
But Andy, you're a massive Meghan Markle fan.
Huge fan. I actually quite liked her in Suits. I thought she was quite good in Suits.
Oh, I liked her.
Award-winning show. I think, Ala, the discussion earlier about trans women, there are bigger issues. You know, wages are stagnated, you know, unemployment's on the rise, etc., etc. Meghan Markle, even in the royal family, you know, you've got formerly Prince Andrew. I think that's, if you're going to talk about the royals, talk about him and his kind of shenanigans, allegedly criminal shenanigans. I think talk about that, not, oh, Meghan Markle's been commissioned by Netflix to do a documentary.
Do you think you should still be dining out on the royal title, though?
If you've got it, why not? To be fair, if I was a duke, I would get everyone to announce me as Duke Andy. No, well, you probably wouldn't with the connotations of that.
Where in the country would you like to be from?
I'm sorry, I'm going to put down this for a second, because the only reason that we are talking about her and that she's got this load of old tat on Netflix is because she uses her royal title. Every time she puts out more of this absolute nonsense, she chips away at the credibility of the crown. So we might all
I think being friends with a paedophile did more damage to the credibility of the crown than Meghan Markle making some mince pies.
Of course it did. Well, she doesn't make the mince pies.
Well,
but actually, what she does chip away at is her own credibility. She does. That's what she chips away at.
No, she chips away at the credibility of the crown, though, because what she's doing is she's monetising royal titles. No one would buy this tea towels and this rubbish if she wasn't actually a member of the royal family still. She might not have royal duties, but that is what she trades off, and so it does actually damage the family.
OK, all right, well, you'll be pleased to know, you'll be especially pleased to know that we're going to park Meghan Markle now, OK? So for a lady who didn't care about it, stood up on national television and spoke about it, doesn't care about it, doesn't care about it. Anyway, no, well, wait, we're going to have to wait for come back, but I will get to you, honestly, because you're chomping at the bit over there. But there is a brand new way to take part in the conversation. You can become a friend of GB News for free. Take a look.
Join the community and be part of our shows by becoming a friend of GB News. Get a direct line to join the conversations that you hear us talking about every day in our programmes by commenting on Your Say and voting in You Decide polls. Access opinion, analysis and behind-the-scenes videos as we share more from the stories that you see on TV and radio. Plus, watch our shows live and on catch-up anywhere, anytime. If you love our channel, become a friend of GB News for free by scanning the QR code or going to gbnews.com/friend. Don't just watch our programmes, come and be a part of them.
OK, we are back. Good. Right, well, coming up, a whistleblower has basically done a big expose for us about RAF Weathersfield, this migrant base. There's lots to unpack here. Allegations of things like sexual harassment going on there, theft, etc. So we're going to be talking about all of that, because the point is, if they're in that base, then very soon they're probably coming to a house of multiple occupancy near you, and I think you have a right to know who some of these people are. Anyway, we're doing this as well now. On Wednesday the 26th of November, you can join me in this studio for a budget special. Yes, you can be in my audience. You can go to sro.co.uk and get your ticket. I'll see you in a minute.
I'm Michelle Dewberry. This is Jubes & Co with you.
Hello everyone, Patrick Christys here to GB News,
Britain's news channel.
Access the stories that matter to you. Take the GB News family with you on any device. And as long as you have an internet connection, tune in to GB News, anywhere on the planet or beyond. GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Hi, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and my show is your opportunity to cut through all the noise and dive in headfirst to some robust debates. Ideas clash.
Situation,
no,
isn't it?
No,
because the failure is
you're deliberately avoiding my point. Nothing's held back.
And if you think this is the end of it, wait for more.
And we do not shy away from the difficult stuff. Sometimes I want to shake people and say, if only you understood. So join me on Jubes & Co weeknights at 6 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
So he can say whatever he wants.
A straight-talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country.
There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor.
Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Daubney, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m, weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Westminster's full of talk, but out here, it's the real world.
Am I allowed to talk now?
No, that's it. This is where it matters, real people and real lives. That's what politics is all about.
In fact, has Trump made a good start? No.
Straight answers, no spin, and just a couple of pints. How many fingers have I got up?
About 10.
So join me for Lee Anderson's Real World every Friday at 7 p.m, only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
You want to know what's really going on in the corridors of power? Labour don't know what to do with you half the time, and that makes you quite lethal in the chamber. Get behind the headlines with Chopper's Political Podcast. Join me, Christopher Hope, as I sit down with the great and the good of British politics. We'll see where this ruling takes us. These are the stories shaping our nation. Chopper's Political Podcast, available now on all platforms. Listen in and stay ahead.
Decisions made in Washington aren't just shaping America, they're shaping Britain too. From migration to global security, from crime to health. Whatever happens in the White House today
will be felt in your town or city tomorrow.
That's why The Late Show is live from Washington, D.C.
Cutting through the politics to show you what it all means for Britain.
The Late Show live every night at midnight.
Only on GB News,
Britain's news channel.
welcome back, everybody. Special shout out to the two blokes who've come all the way from Scotland for this. Thank you very much, everybody. So I think you're not going to beat the guy who came from Bangkok last week, but, you know, you've come pretty far nonetheless. Anyway, Rachel Reeves has said that she is sick of people mansplaining how to be the Chancellor in response to those who do not have faith in her economic strategy. Well, in an interview with The Times, Reeves said that she had a target on her because she's the first female Chancellor and that she's not going to let critics bring her down by undermining her confidence. Well, is Rachel Reeves hiding behind her gender in order to deflect criticism? What do we think? I'll probably go to the women first on this, I think. What, Orla?
The thing is, when people it's like anything, you use race, you use gender to compensate for your own lacking and your incompetence. She's useless. She's probably the worst Chancellor we've ever had. And again, much like Keir Starmer, I wonder, does she actually know this? Everybody else does, but she seems to be completely in denial. Yeah. So, you know, she's dreadful. She's dreadful. And her saying that she doesn't want to take instructions from men, well, maybe she should, to be honest, and then we wouldn't be in this situation.
All right, there's a lady here who needs the microphone.
She does.
All right, she needs it because she's got a lot to say. Could we get the microphone to her right now? No, bear in mind, you are live on national television.
No.
OK.
I won't swear, Patrick, because I love you and I love him and I love her and I love
OK.
you. I don't like you.
Right, so,
and every time I see you, I get so angry.
Thanks for coming out, I suppose.
Guys, come on. Keep it
OK. Do you think that Starmer is a little bit weird? The reason I ask that is because the amount of rapes and disgusting filth we've had done by illegals in this country, my country, born in this street, do you think that he might have the same mindset? Look back on his history. Look back on what he did when he was a lawyer, the people he dealt with, the Jimmy Saviles, the disgusting perverts that he was letting out of jail.
Well, I think it's worth noting, when he was director of the Crown Prosecution Service, he did prosecute the first round of grooming gangs ever in this country. When he was a barrister, it does work on a taxi rank system.
Well, there's thousands,
you have to take what you're given as a barrister.
Right.
But if you look where he actually had a choice, he prosecuted the first ever grooming gangs in this country. I don't think he's wrong in the head. I mean, I am to the left of him in the party. I don't think he's a wrong un. I disagree with him politically on a couple of things. But I think, honestly, if you look at him, he is a good guy and he is trying to of our country. We might disagree with it, but...
Yeah, I mean, look, I
don't think he's wrong. I don't think he's wrong.
I've been very critical. I've been very critical of his track record. Both him and the Attorney General, I will say. You know, I've been critical of them. I know that he does say, you know, there's the cab rank rule. Well, there is.
On another quick one, why did you take £10 million?
Just be quite careful about what we say.
£10 million to a mosque that was a bit frightened when we have women and children, British, black and white, whatever, Chinese, this is not a racist. This is, why do you do it? Why do you push us out? We have no policing. And let me tell you what's going to happen very soon. Our borders are going to get policed by us.
In fairness, I don't know the specific case that you're talking about with the mosque, but I very much doubt that...
the £10 million
£10 million to the mosque?
Mahmood just took to the mosque.
They've done, just to clarify, what they've done is that they've tried to increase security at mosques, and I know that there is an argument about...
But they're not getting bullied. We're getting bullied, Patrick. We're getting bullied left, right and centre.
Can I help you out just quickly? Do you mind?
And then we've only got a few seconds.
No, that's fine. What's happening here is this is a reflection of how women, mothers and grandmothers are feeling across the UK at the moment. And this is what I see and hear every day. So you do have a very valid point, which we'll probably come on to in a minute with the Weathersfield migrant camp.
All right. Well, look, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for everything you said.
And it's a short segment, this, because we've got to the end of the hour. And I want to tell you what I've got coming up. And I know that a lot of people are going to get very, very agitated about this because, of course, it is an expose about what's really going on inside RAF Weathersfield. It is that migrant camp base there, isn't it? We've got some shocking, uncovered, unearthed, exclusive footage about the reality of the situation. So stay tuned.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Box Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Hello again, good evening. Welcome to your latest GB News weather update brought to you from the Met Office. Another cold evening to come across southeastern areas, but elsewhere it will turn much milder, and the milder feel will be felt for all by tomorrow. That's because we've got a weather front moving in from the west that will introduce that milder air as well as some rain and cloud. And this evening that rain will push across parts of Northern Ireland, much of Scotland and into parts of North Wales, Northern England through the early hours of this evening. Staying dry ahead of that across many central and eastern areas. The cloud will start to thicken as well. So after a chilly start to the night, temperatures will rise by tomorrow morning. They'll actually be closer to 4 or 5 degrees. Clearer skies as well developing behind this weather band across Northern Ireland and much of western Scotland in particular. So here will be a relatively fine start to the day. Still quite a few showers around though across the Shetland Isles, parts of the Western Isles and the Highlands, but most of these showers will be falling as rain, which will make a difference. And clear skies across much of Northern Ireland will bring a bright and sunny start to the weekend. Very different story though for England and Wales. There's a lot of cloud around along with this weather front. Some heavy bursts of rain, particularly across the mountains of Wales, parts of the Pennines as well. So we could see that mixed with snowmelt bringing a few localised impacts from the rainfall. But otherwise it's going to be a generally pretty dull and damp day for many central and eastern areas of England. Elsewhere though, it should brighten up as the day goes on, particularly across eastern areas of Scotland. Highs of around 7 or 8 degrees, and in the south and west we'll be reaching double digits for the first time in a little while. Looking ahead to Sunday, we've got a low pressure system taking centre stage. That will spread further spells of heavy rain through the country, particularly across eastern areas where it will linger into the start of the new week, turning a little bit brighter across the southwest, but it will be breezy. Now, as I said, next week it's looking relatively damp across eastern areas to start, but it should turn drier as well as colder. Bye-bye.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
There's just 2 weeks left to see how you could win your Christmas this year paid for by us. First, we'll give you an incredible £30,000 in tax-free cash. Then we'll give you a further £10,000 cash to spend on all your Christmas presents, even the tree. Christmas lunch, that's on us too, with £1,000 in shopping vouchers to spend at your favourite supermarket. Finally, a GB News Christmas goodie bag. For another chance to win, text WIN to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message, or text BONUS to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge, or post your name and number to GB17 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 28th of November. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand.
Hi, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and my show is your opportunity to cut through all the noise and dive in headfirst to some robust debates. Ideas clash.
Situation,
no,
isn't it?
No,
Because the failure is...
You're deliberately avoiding my point. Nothing's held back.
And if you think this is the end of it, wait for more.
And we do not shy away from the difficult stuff. Sometimes I want to shake people and say, if only you understood. So join me on Jubes & Co. weeknights at 6 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Join me, Nana Akwe, for an informative, interactive news programme with a difference. It's fun.
No, he didn't say that, Dave.
I'm so surprised.
I think there's an element of truth to that.
Join me from 3 p.m. every weekend, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
So he can say whatever he wants.
A straight-talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country. There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor. Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Dordme, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m, weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Britain deserves a newsroom that puts the facts and your voice first.
Well, and that's what you get on GB News. Lively debates, lively conversation.
And we're not afraid to hold power to account.
And each other. So join me, Andrew Pierce.
And me, Miriam Gates, for Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 on GB News.
Britain was once the envy of the world. But look around. A nation that no longer knows what it is or where it's going. A country that's broken. How do we fix Britain? How do we bring it back? Friday night with Matt Goodwin at 8 p.m, only on GB News.
All right, good evening, everybody. How are we? Hello. Yes, you can have one of them as well. Thank you, everyone at the back. All right, well, lively first hour, I think we're fair to say. It's 10 p.m, I'm Patrick Christys, and tonight, apparently, illegal migrants are smashing up, or have smashed up, that RAF Weathersfield airbase. I've got exclusive footage from inside there for you, as well, actually, as some other very disturbing stuff. But also, has this ever happened to you?
Russian, you forget if they've eaten, so it gives them a bit of stability.
Yeah, so has anyone ever forgotten to feed their kids? You know, you just wake up sometimes and you're like, oh, just not sure I'll feed the kids. You look at the kid, you think, have I fed you? Can't remember. No, maybe. Well, there you go. Well, Labour are trying to use this to justify their new breakfast clubs. Also,
fake news was a great term, except it's not strong enough. You know, I'd like it to be stronger. You know, the word fake is one thing, but this is beyond fake. This is corrupt.
Let's all just take a moment's silence because it's emerged that the BBC has lost £1 billion. That'll do. OK. All right. Oh, well. Oh, and also...
Hello.
Oh, great. Oh, Starmer took the phrase foreign trip a bit too seriously. It's good because I didn't know that was in there this hour, and I'm glad that we did it. Also, I was outside a second ago, and I've got some brand new, hot off the press front pages for you for tomorrow's front pages. The Daily Telegraph is leading with the story that the Tories are on course for just 14 seats at the next general election, which is pretty bad, really, to say the least. The other big one that I saw there is The Sun, and get this, Sarah Ferguson, formerly off of Prince Andrew, quite literally, is considering offers for a tell-all TV interview, apparently. Yes, a six-figure sum for the first chat after she's losing her title. Can you imagine that? Sarah Ferguson couldn't go any worse than the one that Andrew did, could it, I suppose? But anyway, on my panel tonight, we've got journalist and broadcaster Linda Jubilee. We've got broadcasting royalty Christo Fufas. We've got Pink Lady in the vice chair of Epping Forest for all of them. There you go. And political commentator Andy Twelve. It's better than the first hour. Anyway, get ready, Britain. Here we go. OK, I've got exclusive footage from inside RAF Weathersfield Asylum Centre. That's next.
Patrick, thank you. The top story. Sir Keir Starmer has told GB News he wants to be the Prime Minister until 2034. Sir Keir's been rocked in recent weeks amid claims that Labour backbench MPs want to replace him with rivals such as Wes Streeting, Shabana Mahmood or Ed Miliband. Allies of the Prime Minister made clear he would fight any leadership challenge last week. Speaking to GB News' political editor Christopher Hope, Mr Starmer reiterated his pledge at the election to be Prime Minister for 10 years. Donald Trump has been meeting with the incoming mayor of New York City, Zohran Mamdani. The US president says the pair have discussed topics like housing and food, as well as the price of oil and the Middle East, adding they agree on much more than you might think.
That I feel very confident that he can do a very good job. I think he is going to surprise some conservative people, actually, and some very liberal people. He won't surprise them because they already like him. We're working with Lebanon. We're working with everybody in the Middle East. That's another thing I think we have in common. We want to see peace in the Middle East, and we actually have now, for the first time, peace in the Middle East after 3,000 years. And now we're going to refine it, and I think you're going to see some very positive things happen.
The former leader of Reform UK in Wales has been sentenced to 10.5 years after he admitted accepting tens of thousands of pounds in cash to make pro-Russian statements to the media and European Parliament. 52-year-old Nathan Gill pleaded guilty to 8 counts of bribery on dates in 2018 and in 2019. His activities included making pro-Russian statements about events in Ukraine in the European Parliament. Following an investigation by counter-terror police, officers said they believe Gill likely took a minimum of £40,000 in cash and was offering to introduce other British MEPs so they could be bribed. Millions of households will see their gas and electricity water bills go up this winter after Ofgem raised its energy price cap. The 0.2% increase takes effect at the start of January, means that bills will rise by around 28 pence a month for the average household. The unexpected increase comes after experts said they expected prices to fall by 1%. And a Strictly Come Dancing star has reportedly been arrested on suspicion of rape. A man who cannot be named for legal reasons was arrested in October over an alleged incident last year, according to the Sun newspaper. It's understood the alleged victim was not a contestant or professional dancer. And those are the latest headlines for now. More in an hour.
You can now watch GB News live across the United States of America and the world on Truth Plus. Scan the QR code to find out more, or visit gbnews.com/truth.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you to everyone who's made the journey here to be with us this evening. Now, the government doesn't want you to know this. The refugee charities certainly don't want you to know this. But tonight I will show you what's really going on inside the Asylum Seeker Centre at RAF Weathersfield. Illegal migrants allegedly went berserk and smashed up the office of the site manager, causing thousands of pounds worth of damage. And we're going to play you some still images of it to start with. This is smashed doors that you can see here. There's some smashed windows. Well, this is inside the office, it appears, and, you know, computers appear to be thrown on the floor as well, as you could see before. The window at the back appears to be smashed. There's glass everywhere. There's, you know, things have just been ransacked, really, hasn't it? Computers thrown on the floor, all of that kind of stuff. Now, a whistleblower told GB News that the illegal migrants regularly fight each other as well, and that they are allowed to come and go as they please. In fact, they get free buses into local towns and cities. But when they come back, they are apparently often found with stolen goods. And we were told in one of their rooms we found blood everywhere, thousands of pounds worth of stolen stuff. The service user, now that's what they call them, they don't call them asylum seekers, they call them service users. The service user was carrying weapons and a piece of sharp broken glass inside his pocket and an unknown lady's driving licence, as well as much more. They also provided us with this video, which they claim shows someone from the Weathersfield asylum base allegedly trying to break into a house. They also showed us what appeared to be emails between some of the managers of the site, and they are recording that police had to attend due to an incident of alleged sexual harassment. The police attended, they arrested the asylum seeker and took him away. That's all according to that email there. And they also provided us with a list of names, which we're blurring for obvious reasons, but they claim that this list of names is a record of the asylum seekers that have gone missing from the site, and that is a full sheet of A4. Right, so that is a full sheet of A4 with people that they say have just absconded. Now, through the blurring, you might be able to see a little bit of yellow. And what we were told was that those are people who are apparently supposed to be isolating because they've tested positive for things like tuberculosis, scabies, or another illness. And, of course, as we've said, they're not called illegal immigrants, they're called service users. But the source also told us about serious issues on the site involving alcohol and, like I said, violence amongst themselves. So, look, we've got a lot going on here, haven't we? Alleged substance abuse, alleged sexual harassment, theft, violence, criminal damage, and people going on the run, all at one asylum site. Now, if that's happening there, what do you think is happening at every hotel, or, crucially, in those houses of multiple occupancy now that some of those people will most likely now be in, right across the country? So let's go to my wonderful panel on this, and then we'll get some of the audience in as well. Orla, on the end now, what would you like to say about some of those revelations?
OK, so this is something that's very close to my heart. Tomorrow in Chelmsford, which is one of the towns that the men are bussed into, there are 15 coaches a day that leave at 10 o'clock from Withersfield, and they go into Chelmsford and Colchester and Braintree, and they leave them there, and then at 7 o'clock they pick them up. So all day, these men are are loitering around, they've got nothing to do, they mainly drink, they sit around, and by the end of the day, you can imagine what they're doing. So tomorrow in Chelmsford, we have a protest. We are expecting hundreds and hundreds of women to be at this protest. Why? Because they are all absolutely terrified of what is going on in those videos. I've seen those videos. I've seen them firsthand. I saw them a few days ago, and the ones that you've got are mild compared to the ones that I've seen. It is horrific what is going on, and it's happening there. It's happening in Crowborough, which is down in Sussex, and in Inverness. In the Highlands of Scotland, they have dumped 400 men outside a tiny little village. Some of those people have never left Inverness. This is what they're doing up and down the country, and the government are wondering why we are out protesting, why we're outside hotels. Ultimately, you know, we get called all the time, and you're probably going to really steam into me in a minute, and I don't care, but, you know, we are called far right, we are called racist, we're called... These men are far, far more likely to sexually assault and rape than anybody else. They have come over from cultures that are not the same as our own. They think of women as third-class citizens. They marry children that are 8 and 9 years old, and they are facts.
That's right.
OK. Oh, all right. Well, OK. Look, what I will say is that, well, because I have to, really, but obviously it's not all asylum seekers. However, we have done numerous reports on the proclivities when it comes to, for example, the rates of sexual assault amongst Afghan men. And also, we know, we've done other reports as well on things like certain cultural practices in parts of, for example, rural Pakistan, where some of those things do take place. There is a gentleman on the front row who's got a microphone here. Do you want to make a comment about some of the stuff that you've just seen there, about the situation in general when it comes to...
Well, I wasn't going to talk about this, but I'm quite happy to.
Right, OK.
So we've got to bring it back to simple basics. Now, all of these immigrants are illegal. They've entered the country illegally, so they are already criminals. If they're busting up places like Weathersfield and they're assaulting people in towns, whatever they might be doing, that's further criminality. They should automatically be disqualified from applying for asylum. They should be detained in secure accommodation, and they should be deported at the earliest opportunity. It's the only way to deal with it.
Because a few years ago, I did an English language program for Afghan women, actually. It's not often that I depart from journalism, and I didn't do it for very long. But in the process of that, I met one of the leading policemen. It was a borough commander from West London. And he told me that he was just waiting for the powder keg to go off at one of the men-only hotels in West London. So that's not in those parts of the world, but it is in my part of the world. And the problem is, no one's got any real control over those hotels because those hotels are run by management companies. Companies like Circle or Clearspring or something like that, which means they're not accountable enough. They pass on responsibility, and that's where the problems happen. They use terminology like service users because they're used to floating around the NHS, the prison service.
And also, on that point, the amount of money that people like Serco are making, it is outrageous
really
on
massive.
our backs.
Yeah, I don't think anyone understands how much money these contracts are worth, nor how long they go on for, because some of them have only just started and they're signed for 7 years.
It's quite scary, really. Right, Christo, your views... But one of the things that stood out to me there was... So that footage that I played to you is a combination of different time periods, right? But one of those there was about 18 months ago. Now, the issue that I've got with that is that whoever did that, what group of people did that, we weren't allowed to know about it, were we? We were all told everything's rosy in the garden when it comes to RAF Weathersfield. There is now a very, very, very good chance that those people will have been processed, moved out. They could be in a town or village or wherever, living in a house of multiple occupancy.
Exactly.
And there are concerns about some of those people just being, I suppose, released into wider society.
And it's a lack of respect, isn't it? Because if you're brought or you come to a country where you are seeking asylum, and I've said this before, and I do believe it, that actually when you are invited into a country, when you arrive seeking asylum, if you emigrate to another country, there is a higher threshold of behaviour, I feel, that is on you than someone born in that country because you are essentially a guest in that country, and part of, I think, integrating into a country, part of being British is not just about nationality, it's about abiding by the law and not biting the hand that feeds you. And that is what is happening there. It's also not hugely surprising as well, because when you consider that a lot of the people that come are young men, stick them all in together like that, without any accountability, that sort of thing is going to happen. But then I did have a thought, you know, that I did wonder, because obviously I've just made a point about integration, but are smashing things up, stealing stuff, vandalism, violence, alcohol and substance abuse. I mean, they are acting like every single major city in the UK at the moment on a Saturday night. So maybe they're actually integrating better than we first thought.
Oh, well, before we go to someone else in the audience, go on, Andy, your thoughts. I don't know if we might be able to play, if possible, some of that clip again, just to remind the viewers at home and everything of the actual damage that was caused. There it is, good stuff. What do you make of this kind of stuff? Because it does follow, by the way, I will say as well. I'm sure most people saw some of the videos of them partying in there the other day, and I did another expose from Weathersfield not so long ago that included, and I'm sorry about this because it is quite disgusting, things like them defecating on the floor and stuff like that. So what do you make of what you're seeing?
You know, there's quite a lot to address.
Yes.
I think on the point about these big service companies, absolutely agree. I think we give too much money to these, you know, big companies that do absolutely take the mick. They do absolutely, whether it's asylum hotels, whether it's prison services, the NHS, absolutely agree on that. I think when we're looking at being housed in RAF bases or old army bases or hotels, we have to house them somewhere.
Why?
I think they shouldn't be living it. We do because look, we have to wait to process them.
They're not our problem.
I think people who are seeking asylum in the UK, because you cannot seek asylum.
It's not asylum, my love. Asylum is when you are leaving.
Please don't patronise me.
No, when you are leaving in a war-torn country. There was a man in Chelmsford in an apartment who had left Turkey. He was from Turkey. Turkey is the second most visited holiday destination for British families. He is not seeking asylum. He is an economic migrant who's coming here because he knows we are an absolute joke.
If he's put in an asylum claim, legally he is waiting on an asylum claim. He is legally. That's not a subjective. It's not a bit of rhetoric. It is objectively true.
Right, gentlemen on the front row, guys. Sorry, just the studio. Yeah, go on. Yep.
But it should be secure. And it should be separated to protect the indigenous population.
Absolutely.
Our first priority must be our own population, particularly our own women and children.
Yes, thank you.
Can we go? Okay, hold on. Can we go to the gentleman here who's in the ready? Do you want to say something? Yeah. All right. Again. Yeah. Go on. Stand up.
No, I just think it's an absolute joke, because I'm not being funny. With all due respect, the government should close the borders, and they're still not doing it. So they're facilitating these men to come in, boatloads every single day. I don't care where they've come from. They shouldn't be here. They've come over here illegally. Do you know what I mean? So it's no, it doesn't matter what race. And when people, I'm not being funny. When people like me stand up and go, well, no, they shouldn't be over here, and you got all the left go labelling us as far right racists and stuff like that. Well, no, we're not. And they're calling people that are out protesting because concerned parents are out protesting for the safety of their children, because you've got all these men on the rise of all these committing crimes, of all these illegal migrants that are getting flooded into the areas, right? How can you label a concerned parent a racist because they're threatened for the safety of their children? No, it doesn't wash, mate. Sorry, but no.
Because it shuts down debate. That's why, and it's because it's a really easy thing to say, just to absolutely shut down things. And what was interesting is there's been a lot of talk this week about the Denmark model, and Siobhan and me talking about it and how far she would be prepared to go. Whether we believe her, another matter. But what Denmark aren't a member of the ECHR, and their asylum arrivals has plummeted to more or less zero. And so it does show, to what you're saying, that there is a political decision. A lot of talk is given to the ECHR saying that's why we can't do anything about it. Well, actually, Denmark are a member of the ECHR, but they still do.
It's a choice.
But the government is still giving them cash incentives to leave our country, to go back to their own country. And that shouldn't be happening to rapists. Like, Deport them, but with nothing. They don't deserve a penny.
Since Labour came into power, 65,000 men have come over by boats. That is the equivalent of 3 times the O2 Arena. That's how many men we're talking about. Now, the thing is, they're in these camps. What is the plan for these men? What is the plan for them? They're coming in, we're trying to stop a flood, but the tap is still on. So these men are still coming in. We can't put them in HMO. There is no room.
All right, OK, well done, everyone. Thank you. Can I just say on this as well, one of the things that really winds me up about this is that if the people who are running that site will know about what's going on in there, so they will know. And I believe that the police will probably have a pretty good idea about what's going on in there as well. So to continue having a free bus service for these people to be bussed into neighbouring towns or cities, I think is basically pretty much criminally dangerous. Because if you know what's going on there and then you still go, all right, then on the bus to Chelmsford, lads, well, you know, what's to stop them doing something there? I mean, what do you think? Do you stop the bus services at least?
Yeah. I think, you know, people shouldn't be living it up. If you're waiting for an asylum claim, you should have dignity and, you know, not be living in a slum. But I don't think you should be living it up or getting free bus rides or, you know, free whatever.
Yeah, secure.
I mean, I don't think in the hotels the doctors and engineers, but I think, you know, it is. I know it's become a bit of a trope, but our economy is supported by migrants at the moment because of the way we've built it. Over the last 20 years, we have built it to be supported. The Cameron era, that Eastern European labour, our construction industry is completely supported. That's absolutely not true. 2012. 2012.
Blair,
well, even whether it's Blair, Cameron, Brown, whomever, our economy is.
I do agree with you, but I don't think you can compare the Eastern European worker to what we're seeing now. I think that's very unfair. I think it's a very different argument.
I think there's a difference between an Eastern European asylum seeker and an Eastern European legal migrant, as the same that there's a difference between a Middle Eastern asylum seeker and a Middle Eastern migrant.
You can't call them asylum seekers from Eastern Europe. They were at least allowed to come with them.
But do you know what I mean? Asylum seekers and migrants are different. All right. Asylum seekers and migrants are 2 different things.
OK. Well, another lively start. Be very keen to see what people at home make of some of that footage as well. So, yes. Right, Home Office spokesperson. We've been to the Home Office. They said this. Although some of the footage is 2 years old, criminal behaviour in any form is utterly unacceptable. We and the police expect we and the public expect the police to act decisively when reports of such activities are made. The government has listened and learned. We will continue to take account of the views and needs of local communities in every decision that we make. We have sent a stark message to those with no right to be here, with nearly 50,000 illegal migrants removed or deported since the election. Can I just say as well, just be clear, we did also put that to the people who are providing the accommodation, and we did also go as well to Essex Police on that. So we have, really been there. Now, before I tell you what's coming in the next section, how about we tell you about the Christmas Great British Giveaway? Well, basically, it's loads of cash. Here's how.
There's just 34 days until Christmas, and it's the final week to see how you can enjoy it on us. That's £30,000 in tax-free cash to make 2026 fantastic. A further £10,000 cash to spend on gifts for all the family, the tree and decorations. £1,000 in vouchers to buy a slap-up Christmas lunch at your favourite supermarket. And finally, a GB News Christmas goodie bag. Plus, we're going to get it all to you in time for the big day. For another chance to win, text WIN to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus 1 standard network rate message. Or text BONUS to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus 1 standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB17 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 28th of November. The winner may be contacted live on GB News, week commencing the 8th of December. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
All right, coming up, we've got a bit of this.
You're rushing, you forget if they've eaten, so it gives them a bit of stability.
Do you forget if your kids have eaten? Has anyone who's got kids here? Right. Have you ever forgotten whether or not you fed them? Never. No, OK. All right, well, that was part of a new promo for why we need to give free school meals out. Should you be feeding your own kids, though? That's next. All right. Well...
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
So he can say whatever he wants.
A straight-talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country. There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor. Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Daubney, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m. weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
GB News Breakfast, every day from 6 a.m.
So many people within the armed services now can say that they owe their lives if they were, shall we say, work in the Middle East and in Afghanistan, in Iraq before that, actually owe their lives to the fact that it was dogs that they sent out to see whether or not there were explosives in a building, whether they were going through a minefield or whatever. So I think we were just talking previously, of course, Hannibal uses elephants. And there has not been a single year since the end of the Second World War when we have not had a conflict of some sort, and animals are still being used. We don't have horses used in the same way, obviously. We still had the cavalry, which is why 8 million horses were lost. Horses, donkeys and mules were lost in the First World War. But they weren't just the cavalry horses. They were the horses that were pulling the guns, that were delivering the armaments, that were carrying out the wounded. And what is interesting is, today in the 21st century, in Ukraine, who are leading the way in using drones in modern warfare, they are doing what they did in the First World War, and they're using horses, donkeys and mules to take the wounded out. The wonderful memorial that we have on Park Lane, it's there and it recognises that it was horses, dogs, donkeys, mules, and if you look, because they have individual statues of them, but if you actually look at the memorial itself, you will see pigeons. Dolphins. I mean, we know that dolphins are being used. As human beings, we share this planet with millions of other animals. And for centuries, we have used certain animals and abused them, used them and abused them, and got them into service with us.
GB News, the People's Channel.
Westminster's full of talk, but out here, it's the real world.
Am I allowed to talk now?
No, that's it. This is where it matters, real people and real lives. That's what politics is all about.
The fact is Trump made a good start. No.
Straight answers, no spin, and just a couple of pints.
How many fingers have I got up?
About 10. So join me for Lee Anderson's Real World every Friday at 7 p.m. only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Welcome back, everybody. So, do you think you should just feed your own kids? Yes. Well, the Department for Education doesn't. They've posted about the 95 precious hours that are being given back to parents because of the free breakfast clubs. Now, they say that free breakfast clubs are giving back precious time to parents, asking, what would you do with that extra 30 minutes in your day? So in the attached video, however, there is a little bit of a weird moment.
Home, it can be quite a task getting them ready for school because they're pretty crazy. They are kids in the morning, as we all know.
You're rushing, you forget if they've eaten, so it gives them a bit of stability.
Do you? Oh, OK, all right, now. But you heard that right, You rush in, you forget if they've eaten. Really? Is it not?
What's the difference between that and leaving your baby in the pub?
Oh, OK, fair enough. We'll get that guy a microphone in a second. in case you missed that at home, he said, what's the difference between that and leaving your baby in the pub? So you go, he asked David Cameron, he did it, didn't he? But anyway, so James Cleverly, the Conservative Party Shadow Secretary of State for Housing, Communities and Local Government, hit back at the video and he said, look, remember, parents, according to this Department for Education, it's the time away from your children that's precious. And he's got a point there, hasn't he? Shouldn't they be encouraging us to actually have more time with your kids? Yeah, so there we go. Well, we'll go. Can I go to this chap on the front row first? Go on, sir. What would you like to say?
I'd just like to say that we live in a capitalistic society, and if you can't afford to have kids, then you don't have kids. And you should always put your kids first. So if you need to feed them, you should feed them. Yeah. And you can't keep asking the government for money, because where does money come from?
Correct.
The working people, and the working people are the ones who gets taxed more and more and more.
But it's free. People forget that when it's free, someone else is paying for it. That's the point.
Exactly that.
I like this. Well done. But you can't. Well, I'll come to you. Sorry, I just want to ask you. Do you mind me asking how old you are?
Yeah, I'm 18 and I work 2 days a week and I still go to college.
Right, good for you, mate. And can I just ask, sorry to do this to you, but how popular are your views amongst your age cohort by any chance? Are you quite outspoken?
For young teenage men, very much more far right. Not far right, shall I say, right wing. But not as much left wing, whereas that's more with the women, because they are more sympathetic towards these people coming over to people who are in need of it. But I am very realistic, and you can't get money from the government if you don't work, because where's the money coming from?
OK, it's interesting. I'm always intrigued. I'm always intrigued when we see a younger person come on who's got views like that. It's always intriguing to know where that generation's at, I suppose. Right, should you feed your own kids, really? I mean, do you ever forget that you've fed them this precious time business?
I once drove off and left my little boy in the pushchair on the pavement.
Had you had breakfast?
But had you fed him? And had he watched Adolescence?
Here's the thing. Greg's run one of the best breakfast clubs for kids in the UK. They've got the Greg's Foundation, which is a really, really impressive charitable foundation. So I think the point is that you need... Some of these kids come from families where they need to eat. The point is they need to eat breakfast before they go to school. Numerous studies have shown that unless children go to school with a full belly, they perform really badly. It's not supposed to be giving mum a chance to go down the road and get fingernails done or whatever. It's not about that. So there is a comms problem with, first of all, how this was explained. That is the situation. But I do think there is merit in getting food into kids early in the day. Right. Breakfast is the most important one. But can I just finally say that Jensen is entirely right. You cannot spend money you haven't got.
Go on, Christys, you were shaking your head here.
It's not the job of the state to give children breakfast, unless my caveat to that is unless they are, particularly that their parents are on benefits, really having trouble making ends meet, well then, in that instance, I think it's fair. But this video, I mean, the comms were ridiculous. But some of the answers were... not one parent answered saying, "Oh, this is brilliant because I can't afford to feed my children," which
that's the point.
Would be the answer.
That's
but the answers were, or none of them said it's great because I've got to get to my job early.
Yeah, that's the other point. That's the other point.
So, literally, one of them, as we've said that they forget to give their children breakfast. Another said that they like it because they can go for coffee. Another said that they want me time, which is ridiculous. Oh, hang on. Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's the Department for Education,
no,
mate.
It's Emily. Up. It's Emily. Hang on. Sorry. Hi, Emily. Hi. Sorry. Yeah. Patrick's wife. Sorry. Oh, George hasn't been fed. She's going out for some me time. She needs some me time.
She does, yeah.
So she's asked, can we send round Bridget Phillipson? That'd be all right. We do that. Yeah, she's on her way, Emily. All right. Enjoy your night. Enjoy your night, babes. Yeah. Bye. But
you know, the thing is that ultimately, even when people say, first of all, a parent's job is to feed and clothe their children. End of. And if you have to go without to feed your children, then so be it. Right now, everybody, I would say that most of you here, your parents probably did not have money when you were growing up. But I bet none of you left the house before you were fed in the morning. Right? It's nonsense when people go, "Oh, I haven't got the money." Yes, you have. I'm sorry. You can go to Aldi, you can get one of their own breakfast cereals and a pint of milk, and you can feed your child. I'm sorry.
Spend it.
Absolutely.
I think it's baffling to me. I think the comms were obviously crap. They were absolutely wrong. The kind of parents who will benefit from this aren't wandering around central London, going to bump into the DfE at 10 o'clock on a Tuesday morning or whatever.
Coffee.
But do you know what I mean? I think this is going to lift 80,000 kids out of poverty. To your point about, don't have kids because it's good. Food poverty.
80,000 kids now.
80,000 kids are going to have a good start to their day. They're going to get food.
Toast in the morning. They're out of poverty, aren't they?
Mate, if they're getting breakfast, they're doing better. It's raising them out of food poverty. But children shouldn't be suffering because of that. If the government can step in, we shouldn't be letting kids suffer when we know we can do something quite easy to make their lives better. We should not be going, "Oh, well, you're a bad parent, so these kids have to suffer." I think that is not the answer.
But do you not feel, right, that... Well, there's 2 points I want to make very quickly. Firstly, once you give dependence on something to the state like that, it's very, very difficult to go back. But secondly, do you not feel it's the job of the state to actually create economic conditions that mean that parents can afford?
I think it should be both. I think it should be both, pal. I think it should be both, pal.
Decent wages, decent industry.
We're a long way from that.
I think it should be both, pal.
Fair enough. Right, now look, sorry, we're just going to do something very, very quickly here, and I mean that, if that's OK, because there's two people who want to make a quick point. We'll just do it quickly. What would you like to say first, sir?
I was just going to say, it's really sad that we've got an 18-year-old boy making a valid point and describing himself as far right by mistake because the legacy media call us all far right for having normal views.
Yeah, well, I think that Overton window shifted, isn't it? But also, well done for you for, going out, working while you're at college, all of that stuff, mate. You're going to go far, definitely going to go far. What would you like to say?
I was just going to say, do we need to get back into education, educating parents how to be parents and not spending their money on the cigarettes that they like and the
But
coffee.
children shouldn't be suffering because you're always going to... I mean, I grew up in a different generation. We've all grew up in different generations across this audience. We all know that one family at the end of the street who don't look after the kids, that are irresponsible. It's something that goes across generations. I don't think those kids in that house should be suffering. I'm sure they shouldn't have them, but they have had them. That's the key bit.
Better spent, I think, on
That's
your
the key
point,
bit.
One of the biggest losses, which was frustrating, but was Sure Start centres. That actually
was
was
a
a
loss.
great way of making sure parents were educated enough to make sure, and that would be a far better use of this money. Educate them and empower them to do the right thing.
We're going to have to whiz on because we're way over, but I thought it was a good section, so thank you very much, everybody who's contributed. Well done. Right, now, we're going to do something a bit different, actually, coming up.
My mistakes have been put on the public stage. Other people's mistakes aren't. And there are many things that are good, but good news doesn't sell papers.
Well, talking of selling papers, it's all over the front of the Sun. It's the breaking news. Could Sarah Ferguson break her silence? She's touting for bids for a tell-all TV interview. Watch this space.
I forecast a perfect holiday in the sun.
Weather looking good then?
For sure, and no worries about our travel insurance.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GBNews Travel Destinations forecast.
Heavy rain and strong winds likely in Italy and Croatia for the first part of the weekend. Meanwhile, it's fine and sunny for most of Spain and Portugal. Chance of some showers for Madeira and also across the Canaries. Sunny but not particularly warm across much of Spain and Portugal. Wet and windy weather, especially for southern Italy, Sicily and parts of Croatia and mainland Greece. Many of the Greek islands dry and fine on Saturday, but it will be cloudy here on Sunday. By the time we get into next week, it looks a little warmer for Rome and Dubrovnik.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GBNews Travel Destinations forecast.
Hello again, good evening. Welcome to your latest GB News weather update brought to you from the Met Office. Another cold evening to come across southeastern areas, but elsewhere it will turn much milder, and the milder feel will be felt for all by tomorrow. That's because we've got a weather front moving in from the west that will introduce that milder air as well as some rain and cloud. And this evening that rain will push across parts of Northern Ireland, much of Scotland and into parts of North Wales, Northern England through the early hours of this evening. Staying dry ahead of that across many central and eastern areas. The cloud will start to thicken as well. So after a chilly start to the night, temperatures will rise by tomorrow morning. They'll actually be closer to 4 or 5 degrees. Clearer skies as well developing behind this weather band across Northern Ireland and much of western Scotland in particular. So here will be a relatively fine start to the day. Still quite a few showers around though across the Shetland Isles, parts of the Western Isles and the Highlands, but most of these showers will be falling as rain, which will make a difference. And clear skies across much of Northern Ireland will bring a bright and sunny start to the weekend. Very different story though for England and Wales. There's a lot of cloud around along with this weather front. Some heavy bursts of rain, particularly across the mountains of Wales, parts of the Pennines as well. So we could see that mixed with snowmelt bringing a few localised impacts from the rainfall. But otherwise it's going to be a generally pretty dull and damp day for many central and eastern areas of England. Elsewhere though, it should brighten up as the day goes on, particularly across eastern areas of Scotland. Highs of around 7 or 8 degrees, and in the south and west we'll be reaching double digits for the first time in a little while. Looking ahead to Sunday, we've got a low pressure system taking centre stage. That will spread further spells of heavy rain through the country, particularly across eastern areas where it will linger into the start of the new week, turning a little bit brighter across the southwest, but it will be breezy. Now, as I said, next week it's looking relatively damp across eastern areas to start, but it should turn drier as well as colder. Bye-bye.
want to know what's really going on in the corridors of power? Labour don't know what to do with you half the time, and that makes you quite lethal in the chamber. Get behind the headlines with Chopper's Political Podcast. Join me, Christopher Hope, as I sit down with the great and the good of British politics. We'll see where this ruling takes us. These are the stories shaping our nation. Chopper's Political Podcast, available now on all platforms. Listen in and stay ahead.
Decisions made in Washington aren't just shaping America, they're shaping Britain too. From migration to global security, from crime to health. Whatever happens in the White House today
will be felt in your town or city tomorrow.
That's why The Late Show is live from Washington, D.C.
Cutting through the politics to show you what it all means for Britain.
The Late Show live every night at midnight.
Only on GB News,
Britain's news channel.
Welcome back, everybody. Now, it's breaking news tonight because this is on the front of tomorrow's Sun front page, and never one to shy away from the spotlight. Sarah Ferguson is considering a tell-all TV interview. According to the Sun, US channels are offering the former Duchess of York six-figure sums. I would have thought that would probably be seven-figure, to be perfectly honest with you. And they want the sit-down interview. Well, Andrew's had his chance to tell his story in a way, so but he didn't he? And now is it time? Is it Fergie time? Is it Fergie time? Thank you very much. The site is literally the Sun's front page. I didn't have to think there about that. But anyway, there we go. What do we think about Sarah Ferguson potentially doing a? It says, yeah. I mean, do you think she should do it, or do you think a quiet period of reflection?
It's terrible. It's awful. It's something completely morally reprehensible, and I will watch every single.
Absolutely, it'd be fabulous.
I will absolutely laugh it all up.
But what I want to know is there can't be much left to tell.
She will have to. I mean, the thing is, it depends on who she does it with. Will it be a sort of softball interview? Will it be with someone who will actually ask, like, probing questions? But the thing is, what this goes to show, though, is that we spoke a lot with the Andrew stuff about the fact that he was still going to get money from the royal family. When you cut them loose too much, then you've got the danger that they need to then make money elsewhere and then end up sort of...
Because let's face it, they are not intelligent enough to make money.
Well, William's quite intelligent, but...
I think William is.
Well, she lost her book deal, apparently. This was reported. She writes books, and I think she also writes children's books.
Yeah, she used to write Budgie the Helicopter.
Yeah.
It was riveting.
She trained as a helicopter pilot, a story I covered, because I was a reporter on the Mail on Sunday. I had to go undercover at RAF Benson to train in a helicopter.
Were there any migrants there?
So, none at the time. This is a long time ago. But I can tell you that she is so unlikely to give any insightful information because she's in a way, she couldn't have coped with that marriage with Prince Andrew if she hadn't had quite strong narcissistic tendencies herself.
Or gin.
Or gin.
Or
maybe.
gin. Right, OK. There's a lady on the front row. Do you like to make a point on this or not? Yeah?
I can.
OK, well, sorry, you had a microphone in your hand, so I assumed that maybe you were... And also your friend stitched you up, because whilst you were looking, I pointed at your friend and I said, does she want to make a point? And she said yes.
I was waiting for the BBC, but
sorry.
just to jump ahead, I think the sad thing here is we take this... Again, it's a bit like Meghan Markle and Sarah Ferguson now and Prince Andrew, or the Andrew Mountbatten. It's taking away from all the good that the royal family and all the hard work and money that they bring into this country. And that's a real shame.
And I think with Prince Andrew, if you read the book Entitlement, I don't know, have you read it?
Is that the
Yes, it's a book about Prince Andrew by Andrew Lowney, and it describes how much money he has made off the back of the British taxpayer, allegedly. It is truly shocking.
OK, go on, Andy. I mean, let's be honest, if Sarah Ferguson does an interview, you will watch it, won't you?
I probably will, to be honest. I think it's all, funny, Fergie's getting a big interview and blah, blah, blah. But I think we do overlook the fact that this goes to the very core of the royal family structure. It's all coming out now about formerly, you know, Andrew Mountbatten, Windsor, blah, 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 you know, how they knew what he was sort of doing, but they didn't know, and it's kind of drip-feeding. We do have to think about the institution of the royal family that have known about this for years and have structurally and fundamentally covered it up. And it's only because some really good journalists from the Mail on Sunday, from wherever, have done quite hard sniffing that they've had to drip-feed it out.
Would you abolish the royal family?
Probably on principle, but in practice it'd be quite difficult to.
All of those years that Queen Elizabeth II did on the throne, you would basically
she was
say,
fine.
because there was a mistake, the legacy...
Well, no, I disagree with it. I disagree with it.
I mean, look at every family. Every family has got dark horses and people that misbehave.
I mean, there's someone that misbehaves, and then there's a...
No, well, not on this scale. Well, I don't know, you haven't met mine, but the point being that... The point being that you're...
A man who has denuded the taxpayer.
No, I understand that.
I think being pals and trying to cover up paedophilia
you're very right, it's devaluing something that is an institution in our country and is very much part of who we are as British people. The thing is that upsets me is someone like, and I love William and I love Princess Kate. I think that they are absolutely fantastic role models.
Then.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree. And I think that their children are great, and they come across and they make me proud to be British.
Disagree.
They do.
Yeah, I mean...
Slim it down.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this is going to be very, very concerning for King Charles and co, because you don't know what she's going to say. I mean, by all accounts, it was Prince Philip who I think hated her, didn't he?
Yeah.
He hated her. So she's obviously got some resentments there, I would have thought. You know, they have booted her out of Royal Lodge, which is her home. Was her. I know. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I was just saying technically from her perspective. And you know, as a result of everything that's gone on, she's lost whatever livelihood she had.
When did they divorce?
Books.
When did they divorce?
Years ago.
20 years.
Yeah,
I mean, I have to say,
I know,
she's hanging on a bit.
No, of course it was, but
you know, you have the ex that lives in the spare room for a bit, you know, make the transition, but like 20 years on, you're still living in the mansion. I mean, come on.
I think they're very good friends, apparently.
I bet they are.
Yeah, they are.
She'll know things. I
would.
Yeah,
the
question is, will she tell them?
I hope so.
We'll see. I think we've got time for one more person in the audience before we break. Then we'll go to Union Jackass Greatest Britain as well. Sir, you got a cheeky glint in your eye. What would you like to say?
I think there was something a bit wrong on that Sun article. It said at the top, royal exclusive, but she's no longer royal.
Yes.
There you go. One for the purists. One for the purists. There you see, royal exclusive, fair enough. OK. All right, well, look, there we go. That is the breaking news on the front of the Sun. And it is that Sarah Ferguson is apparently considering doing offers for a tell-all TV interview. How much do you think she'll make out of it, quickly? Put a number on it, go on.
I would say $500,000.
Oh, more, I think it's...
Depends who the broadcaster is.
I think at least...
More than that, for an American network, more than that.
But they'll want guarantees. They say how it's going to work. They'll want guarantees of what she's going to say.
Yeah.
So they'll want... And if she agrees to say...
Over $1 million.
A lot of stuff, you're easily over $1 million. Yeah. Easily, because it'll go all around the world. Yeah. Anyway...
You should do it, Patrick.
Yeah, but I haven't got £1 million, mate, unfortunately, so there we go. But, you know...
What's another loss on the balance sheet, really? We're already in the red.
Right, OK, well, when we come back, it is time for Greatest Britain Union Jackass, so get ready to make your choices, everybody. Thank you very much.
GB News Breakfast, every day from 6 a.m.
Very good morning to you, Christine.
Good morning to the pair of you and all the watchers and listeners.
Yeah, absolutely. When you look back...
Oh, you still got your hat.
Well done.
Good on you.
I think it's shrunk a bit, but still.
I can't believe it's 23 years ago. Can you?
Well, if you can't, no, nor can I. And people come up to me and say whatever they say, and I usually say, do you realise how long ago that was? Oh, 10 years. What? I said, no, it was 2002. It turned people's view of me completely on its head. And I'd gone into the jungle as one of the most hated women in the country, or disliked, whatever you want to say. And people suddenly saw the real me, and, you know, basically I'm quite nice, I'm fun, I'm kind to animals, you know, and when people get to know the real me, they think, oh, gosh, she's not this awful old witch that the newspapers had told us she was.
Oh, you're always a battle axe, Christine. You'll always be a battle axe. Come on.
You just have to be yourself. And if yourself, your real self, can't cope with the privations and the boredom, because they deliberately make sure that you're bored most of the time. Don't forget, viewers see a fraction of it. And they also make sure that there's a mix of personalities, so that usually there's that sort of stuff going on. But, I have to say, a tad envious. First of all, they're in the Australian sunshine. Which would be nice. And I mean, what's not to like about it? You get flown out first class. We went Qantas. I have no idea what. I hope they fly the flag. I had a wonderful time. They flew my other half out because I said, if I'm going to be away for 3 weeks or so, you will have to fly Neil out as well, because otherwise I shall have to put him into care. So they swallowed that.
GB News, the People's Channel.
Westminster, the ultimate clique. And you're fighting like rats in a sack. But here on the Camilla Tominey Show, we ask the questions the establishment media is too scared to ask. OK, let me ask you a straight question, because I know you're a straight-talking politician. Whether it's net zero, illegal immigration or law and order, nothing is off limits. You had the power then.
Yeah, as I
and
say,
now you've lost it. That's the Camilla Tominey Show, a politics show that's fearless. But no, let me finish my question if you don't mind, because it is my show. Sundays at 9:30, only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
In the GB newsroom, we bring you the news as it happens.
With our team of dedicated journalists across the UK, we're ready to keep you up to date with what's happening every half an hour, every single day. Bulletins here on GB News, the People's Channel,
Britain's news channel.
Welcome back, everybody. Now, we are going to rattle through this. It's Greatest Britain Union Jackass time. We're going to start with Greatest Britons. I'm going to start on this side and work my way down. So who's your Greatest Britain, Andy?
My Greatest Britain is Josh Newbury, MP. He's a Labour MP who spoke about his experience of being a victim of rape. I think it's, in the same week that we've had the men's health strategy, I think it's really important that we've got these big public advocates talking about men's issues, because over the last 10, 15 years, we've really seen a decline in that, and I think it's really positive to have that kind of men's advocacy.
Yeah, OK, a good start. It was a very powerful speech in the House of Commons earlier this week. Linda, who's your Greatest Briton?
Ben Stokes.
Oh, God.
I wasn't interested in cricket either, but 2 weeks ago I interviewed Darren Gough, and I had to do a little bit of homework, but since then I've become quite interested. When I turned on the radio this morning, and, at one point it looked like England was going to get a complete thrashing.
Yeah.
Ben Stokes went in there and a couple of teammates saved the day.
He's the man for the big occasion.
Saved us from a humiliation by Australia.
Good. He's the man for the big occasion, Ben Stokes, isn't he? Christo, who's your Greatest Briton?
OK, mine's an honorary. It's a Swede by the name of Dr. Anders Tegnell. He's Sweden's state epidemiologist.
Yes.
And, of course, in the week of our COVID inquiry showing what a disaster it was for us, he defied global consensus to implement a lighter touch approach. He thought the Swedish population could just use common sense. And actually, they didn't have lockdowns, and they came out, and he had to stand alone to try and get that through. So,
yeah, good idea, Christo. Good idea.
Good. All right, ripples of applause. Who's your Greatest Briton, Orla?
So I don't want to embarrass him, but I would like to have you, my friend, as the Greatest Briton this week. A wonderful 18-year-old young man, who is working, juggling in education, and has enough front to come on TV and say what he thinks. Well done, you.
The MP, Newbury, isn't
Josh
it?
Newbury.
Josh Newbury. Obviously, you did a very brave thing, but Greatest Britain, anyone? Yeah, few people. OK. Ben Stokes. All right. No cricket fans in.
OK. Anders Tegnell.
The Swedish man. OK. 18-year-old man of the... Right, now, this is arguably the more fun bit, Union Jackass. So, go on, who's your Union Jackass?
My Union Jackass this week is a guy called Barry Elliott. He's a Reform UK councillor up in Blythe, and he ripped off 2 pensioners and has to pay them back 140 grand and isn't paying them back. He owns a construction company and ripped him off. And when the BBC came up and confronted him on behalf of the pensioners, he called the BBC reporter a dirty rat. So I want to say, mate, you're a dirty rat. I'm on the TV, the channel that you watch. Pay him back, pal.
OK, all right, fair enough. I was slightly worried about where you were going to go there.
He owes it. 140. He can't be ripping off pensioners, pal.
Not condoning what he's allegedly done, but he's not here to defend himself. Right, go on, Linda. Yep.
So Nathan Gill, Reform UK's former Wales leader, who was jailed for taking bribes for pro-Russia speeches.
OK, now we're going to have to very quickly...
OK, Department of Education for that ridiculous feeding your kids breakfast so that parents can have me time. Ridiculous.
Who's yours?
I have to do Where's Wally? I'm afraid, tripping over, never here. Keir Starmer for me.
OK, all right. Well, I think we could probably narrow it down to two. We've only got about 10 seconds. Who would like to be greater to a Union jackass? Do you think Department for Education? We've got Nathan Gill as well.
Traitor.
What about Never Hear Care? Well, look, thank you very, very much, everybody. I really mean it, especially again to the lads from Scotland. Good stuff. Thank you for people who've come from all over. Tremendous to see you. And the bloke from Liverpool as well. Well done, mate. Love Liverpool. Fantastic. I'll see you in a second. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Warm and cosy, with a chance of zero visibility. Boxed Boiler sponsors the weather on GB News.
Hello again, good evening. Welcome to your latest GB News weather update brought to you from the Met Office. Another cold evening to come across southeastern areas, but elsewhere it will turn much milder. And the milder feel will be felt for all by tomorrow. That's because we've got a weather front moving in from the west that will introduce that milder air as well as some rain and cloud. And this evening that rain will push across parts of Northern Ireland, much of Scotland and into parts of North Wales, Northern England through the early hours of this evening. Staying dry ahead of that across many central and eastern areas. The cloud will start to thicken as well. So after a chilly start to the night, temperatures will rise by tomorrow morning. They'll actually be closer to 4 or 5 degrees. Clearer skies as well developing behind this weather band across Northern Ireland and much of western Scotland in particular. So here will be a relatively fine start to the day. Still quite a few showers around though across the Shetland Isles, parts of the Western Isles and the Highlands, but most of these showers will be falling as rain, which will make a difference. And clear skies across much of Northern Ireland will bring a bright and sunny start to the weekend. Very different story though for England and Wales. There's a lot of cloud around along with this weather front. Some heavy bursts of rain, particularly across the mountains of Wales, parts of the Pennines as well.